Aarav pushed himself up from the cold cardboard sheet that served as his bed. His bones ached, his stomach was empty, but hunger was an old, unwelcome friend. At 26, all he owned were the patched clothes on his back and shoes that had surrendered to the streets. Every morning he walked to the market square and sat near the fountain, holding a small wooden cup. He never begged with words. His silence was the last thread of dignity he clung to. He simply nodded at those who gave and smiled at the children who stared. Deep inside, he dreamed, not of wealth, but of a simple life, a life without fear, without hunger, without feeling invisible. One frosty winter morning, a little girl in a bright yellow coat stopped in front of him. She held out a warm bun wrapped in paper. "My mum said to give you this," she said shyly. Aarav stared at the warm, fragrant food. He accepted it gently. "Thank you." The girl smiled. "You always smile at me, even when the grown-ups don't look at you." "That's nice." Then she ran back to her mother. Aarav watched them go, the warmth of the bun seeping into his fingertips. He ate slowly, savoring every single bite. That simple act of kindness lit a fire in him. It was a reminder that he was still human, still seen, still worthy. That day he decided he would change his life. Change didn't come overnight. He had no education, no home, and no money. But he had his hands, his humility, and a spirit that had been stitched together by years of hardship. His first chance came in the form of Mr. Roldan, an old furniture shop owner. One evening Aarav saw the old man struggling to move a heavy chair. He rushed to help. Together they carried it inside. Mr. Roldan, catching his breath, asked, "You strong?" Aarav just shrugged. "Strong enough. Want work? I can pay a little." Not much. To a man with nothing, not much was everything. He started the next day cleaning, lifting, sweeping, and learning to repair furniture. The pay was small, but it was steady. He saved every coin, still sleeping under the bridge, but now, he fell asleep with hope instead of despair. His hands, once numb from the cold, became steady and skilled. He learned to refurbish stools, fix broken drawers, and polish antiques until they shined. One afternoon, Mr. Roldan showed him a rotting old chest, its hinges rusted and its carvings faded. "Think you can fix this?" the old man asked. Aarav studied it. "I can try." For 3 nights, he worked in the back of the shop. He sanded, polished, replaced the hinges, and carefully traced over the faded carvings. When he finished, the chest looked like it belonged in a nobleman's home, a piece that breathed stories of history and craftsmanship. A week later, a wealthy collector bought it for more money than Aarav had ever imagined. Mr. Roldan pressed a small envelope into his hand. It was a generous payment, far more than he expected. "Thank you for believing in me," Aarav said, his eyes stinging. The old man just shook his head. "You earned it." Soon Aarav's reputation grew. Customers came to the shop asking specifically for repairs done by the quiet young man with the skilled hands. He worked with a deep sense of gratitude, taking pride in every piece he touched. He finally saved enough to rent a tiny room. It was barely big enough for a bed, but to him, it was a palace. One evening, a tall, well-dressed woman entered the shop. She was Nadia Velran, the owner of a luxury interior design company. "I've heard about your work," she said. "I have a damaged antique table from the 19th century, very delicate. I need someone trustworthy." Aarav's breath caught in his throat. "I would be honored." He restored the table with perfection, capturing every intricate detail. Nadia was stunned. "You have a rare talent," she said. "How would you like to work for my company?" "Full-time. Good pay. A proper workshop, with all the tools you need." Aarav felt dizzy. He looked at his hands, hands that once held a begging cup, now capable of creating such beauty. "Yes," he whispered. And just like that, his life changed again. Working for Nadia's company opened doors he never knew existed. Wealthy clients requested his work personally. His name, Aarav, became synonymous with elegance and craftsmanship. His designs even appeared in magazines. Within 5 years, he had saved enough to start his own workshop, Aarav Restorations. The business thrived. He made it a point to hire others who needed a chance, especially those quiet, overlooked people who reminded him of himself. People were drawn not just to his incredible work, but to the man himself, humble, gentle, and patient. Even after he became wealthy enough to own a beautiful home, a car, and a thriving business, Aarav never forgot where he came from. He never forgot the cold mornings by the fountain, or the kindness of a little girl in a yellow coat. He often visited the bridge where he once slept, leaving food and warm blankets for those still trapped in poverty. His employees soon joined him, turning his private act of kindness into a quiet, beautiful tradition. 10 years after receiving that warm bun, Aarav stood on a stage. accepting an award for his contribution to social welfare. The audience applauded as cameras flashed. In the front row sat Mr. Roldan, frail but beaming with pride, and beside him sat the girl in the yellow coat, now a young woman. When Aarav spoke, his voice was steady and clear. "I was once invisible," he said. "I had nothing but hope. A single act of kindness gave me the strength to start, and every step after that came from hard work, compassion, and the belief that a person is never too poor to dream. I am wealthy now, not because of money, but because I can give back what was once given to me." The entire hall rose in a standing ovation. Aarav smiled, not for the cameras, but for the journey, a journey from dust to gold, from a beggar to a builder, from having nothing to becoming someone who could change lives. His story is a powerful reminder that within each of us lies the potential for greatness, and that a little bit of kindness can be the spark that ignites a revolution of the human spirit. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content.